there was a point where he was delusional and having kind of episodes that were drug related, but brushes with the law and flirting with kind of homelessness and it was unsustainable.
For decades, Ron Howard was Hollywood's safest name, calm, trusted, untouchable. While scandals destroyed careers and egos shattered legends, he kept smiling, delivering hit after hit. Studios believed in him. Audiences felt safe with him. To the world, he was perfection. But behind that calm was a lifetime of silence, pressure, and unspoken pain. And when Rob Reiner and Michelle Singer Reiner were suddenly gone, something inside Ron finally broke. Rob's death didn't just shock Hollywood, it forced Ron to confront the memories, regrets, and truths he had buried for decades. Now, Ron Howard is speaking in a way he never has before. And what he's revealing about Rob Reiner doesn't just change their story, it changes everything we thought we knew about him. The story of Ron Howard begins far from red carpets and awards. Born on March 1, 1954 in Duncan, Oklahoma, he was raised by working actors Rance Howard and Gene Spiegel. In their home, acting wasn't glamour, it was discipline, showing up prepared, doing the job right, no excuses. Before most children could form memories, Ron was already on a movie set. At just 18 months old, he appeared in Frontier Woman. He didn't know it then, but that moment quietly locked him into a life where the camera would never stop watching. Childhood, as most people know it, never really existed for him. When the Howard family moved to California, normal life disappeared completely. School desks were replaced with studio trailers. Playgrounds became sound stages. While other kids rode bikes and scraped their knees, Ron memorized lines under burning lights. Dinner tables turned into script sessions. Fame grew, but loneliness grew faster. Ron would later call those years a golden cage, safe, structured, successful, but emotionally empty. He was surrounded by adults, expectations, and applause, yet deeply isolated. That ache stayed with him longer than anyone realized. Everything changed on October 3, 1960, when The Andy Griffith Show premiered. 6-year-old Ron Howard became Opie Taylor, America's child, the symbol of innocence. Families trusted him, the nation adored him. But behind the scenes, the reality was far less perfect. Ron often finished homework alone in a small studio room, while laughter echoed from outside. His father constantly reminded him, "Don't act cute, act honest." That lesson shaped his entire career, but it couldn't erase the pain of growing up under constant scrutiny. While Ron lived inside America's television, Rob Reiner was rising in the same demanding industry, another child shaped by fame, learning that applause doesn't prevent loneliness. When The Andy Griffith Show ended in 1968, Ron was just 14 and emotionally drained, raised more by studios than classmates. Then came Happy Days. At 19, he became Richie Cunningham, America's perfect boy next door. While the real world changed, he remained frozen, trapped once again. He asked the network for one thing, a single storyline referencing the Vietnam War, something real, something honest. The request was rejected immediately. That moment cut deep. He realized he was invisible behind the character, living someone else's life while his own stood still.
That quiet frustration changed everything. Like Rob Reiner, Ron made a life-altering decision. He stepped behind the camera. Directing wasn't ambition, it was escape. His first true taste of control came through Roger Corman, who offered him a deal: star in Eat My Dust and earn the right to direct. That project became Grand Theft Auto, co-written with his father, Rance Howard, made on just $62,000 and somehow turned into a box office success. For the first time, Ron Howard felt free. Success followed fast: Night Shift, Splash, Cocoon, Willow, Parenthood. Each film raised expectations. Each win added pressure. Ron became known as the director studios could trust with anything. But control came with a hidden cost. Ron obsessed over every detail. Every frame mattered. Every decision felt personal. The pressure never stopped. By 1995, that obsession reached a breaking point with Apollo 13. Ron demanded total authenticity, no shortcuts, no compromises. One morning, Ron collapsed on set from exhaustion and dehydration. Production stopped. When he returned, the crew greeted him wearing shirts that read "Mission Control." He smiled, but inside, something had cracked. That moment taught him a brutal truth. Passion can quietly become self-destruction. At the same time, Ron was losing something far more important. In 1991, while directing Far and Away in Ireland, he left his wife Cheryl at home with their newborn children, 6 months away. Endless pressure. He told himself it was temporary. When he returned, his baby daughter didn't recognize him. That silence hurt more than any professional failure ever could. Years later, during Cinderella Man, the pattern repeated. Long absences, growing children, quiet guilt. Ron began to realize his obsession with proving himself had roots far deeper than ambition. It started in childhood, in the belief that he always had to say yes, always had to be perfect. But the deepest wound of his life wasn't professional. It was his brother. Clint Howard wasn't just family, he was Ron's anchor, the one person who truly understood what it meant to grow up under studio lights. They were kids earning paychecks before understanding the world, survivors of a childhood no outsider could fully grasp. By the late 1980s, Clint was struggling. Addiction, chaos, fear. Ron watched helplessly until 1990, when he finally drew a line: get help or lose me forever. Clint chose recovery. It saved his life. But today, Clint faces a serious, life-altering illness, and this time, Ron can't fix it. He can't control the ending. For the first time in decades, Ron Howard admitted something no one expected to hear. He's scared. That fear was already consuming him when the unthinkable happened: the violent, horrifying deaths of Rob Reiner and Michelle Singer Reiner. It wasn't peaceful, it wasn't gentle, it was sudden, brutal, and incomprehensible. The industry went silent, tributes poured in, but for Ron, it felt personal in a way he couldn't escape. Rob Reiner was everything Ron wasn't: loud, fearless, unfiltered. Yet beneath their differences was a shared fire. Both were children of Hollywood. Both fought for creative truth. Both carried pressure few could understand. They respected each other, they challenged each other, and quietly they competed. Not through headlines or public clashes, but in the subtle way true artists do. Scripts moved between studios. Meetings ended with the same two names hovering in the air. Projects overlapped. A rivalry existed. Never cruel, never spoken, but undeniably real. Two giants walking parallel paths, close enough to feel each other's presence, yet never fully colliding. Then, Rob Reiner was gone. In an instant, competition dissolved into something far heavier: regret. The kind that surfaces in silence when unfinished thoughts replay again and again. Conversations that never happened, words that felt unnecessary back then, now impossible to say. In a rare moment of honesty, Ron Howard admitted, "We didn't always see eye to eye, but he made me better. Maybe I never told him that." That truth stayed with him. Because Rob's death wasn't just about loss, it reflected everything Ron feared losing next: time, family, and the illusion of control he had carried for decades. It forced him to look at what truly mattered, beyond awards and reputation. Today, Ron Howard lives differently. He turns down projects, he stays home more, he chooses presence over prestige, and people over pressure. At 71, with a legacy worth over $200 million, he finally understands the truth he once ignored. Success fades, time never waits, and what truly matters is who remains beside you when everything else is gone. Awards don't hug you back. Success doesn't remember your name,
and no film can replace the people you love. When Ron Howard lost Rob Reiner, he didn't lose control. He lost the illusion of safety. If this story moved you, like, share, and subscribe for more untold Hollywood truth. Thanks for watching.